Aaron Kraft, welcome to the Seth Davis Show. What a pleasure to be talking to you. Obviously, we've all been enjoying watching you this season. We usually don't talk about things like the date that we're taping because we air these, a week or so after we tape. But I will let everybody know that today is February the 12th, 2014. This is your 23rd birthday. Let me wish you a happy birthday. And I know that there's nothing you'd rather be doing on your birthday than appearing on the Seth Davis Show. So happy birthday. How's it feel to be 23? You feel like an old man?
I do feel like an old man. Once you get past 21, there's not too much more exciting things to look forward to when your birthday comes around. So, just trying to enjoy the years that I have.
Hey, look on the bright side. You're 1 year closer to being able to rent a car. That's like the last threshold. You get to be 25, you can rent a car.
I'm excited. I'm almost there.
Wait till you get to be my age. I'm 43, so I trade for 23 in a second. What a season for Ohio State. I mean, you have an incredible stretch at the beginning of the year. You reach the top five of the polls, then you plummet, and then you have so many ups and downs, and you're working your way back in. Last night you had a tough loss at home to Michigan. How challenging has it been to keep everything together while the team was losing so many games?
It's tough. I think the toughest thing is none of us have ever been in a situation like this. None of us are really accustomed to losing too many games in a season, let alone in a row. So it was really challenging just to get everyone's mindset in the right place. This isn't the type of league where you can feel sorry for yourself and expect a team to come out and give you one, because everyone kind of smells that blood in the water. And if you don't come ready to play every game, you got to work yourself out of it yourself.
I know you're focused on the day-to-day process of practicing and getting better and trying to win some games, but the reality is this is your last year in college, and who knows, what lies ahead. This could potentially be your last year playing organized basketball. How hard is that to keep out of your mind while you're going through this point of the season, or how much is it on your mind?
To be honest, it was on my mind a lot early on in the year. Preseason, the first few games we had. And then I realized how much it wasn't helping. It was affecting the way I was coming in and practicing. Worrying about things that I don't have any control over wasn't helping myself, and it wasn't helping our team. So I've really tried to just minimize things, simplify it as much as possible. I have 6 games left, or however many it is, X amount here at home, but that's not what it's about. It's about this team, and the better our team does, the better everyone looks. And that's how I would like my senior year to go, and not anything about myself. So
it's so interesting, Aaron, to track all of the different perceptions of you. I kind of feel like you become the Tim Tebow of college basketball. People either think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, or they think you're overrated. You foul too much. You don't shoot enough. Like Tebow, doesn't throw it well enough. And I even saw where Grantland.com put you in a bracket as one of the most hated players in college basketball of the last 30 years. 30 years is longer than you've been alive, bro. I mean, do you get that? Do you understand why you've become, quote unquote, polarizing?
I don't know. It's weird to think about. When I first got here, it's definitely changed since that time. There's always been older guys that have really kind of taken the brunt of away fans, getting yelled at and things. But as the years have gone on, it's gotten a lot worse for me. And it's always interesting. Most of the times, the guys are pretty creative in the way they talk and the things they yell. But my teammates get a kick out of it. So if it helps them stay loose, then, I can't do anything about it.
Well, they only hate the good ones. So if anyone says they hate you, you should take that as a form of flattery. That's what I do. Everybody hates me, so I can relate. I've talked to you at various points in your career, and I know you'd be the first to concede that, the one weakness in your game is your outside shooting. And here's what I want to ask you about this. I'm fascinated by this subject because we know from everything we know about you and watching you that you have worked as hard as a human being can possibly work on your jump shot. I remember being out in Columbus at the start of practice last year, and you told me about how you really kind of broke your shot down from scratch. Now, you are shooting the ball. Your percentages are up from last year. You up from 30% from three to 34 now, 42% from the field to 48% now. But clearly, this part of your game hasn't developed along with the rest of your game. Do you have a sense for why that is after all those hours in the gym, why we don't see you as this knockdown, dead-eye shooter?
I wish I knew. That's one of the more frustrating things about the whole thing is the amount of work that that you put in, you always want to see instant results. So I think, lately I've done a pretty good job of just relaxing, taking what's been given to me. And sometimes I still don't take the shots I should take. And that's part of me just getting a feel for the game and being relaxed out there and believing in my teammates, believing in myself. So there's a lot of overthinking that sometimes goes on, and that's the absolute worst thing that I can do. Just going out there and having fun. You can always impact the game in other ways, but come down the stretch, if teams are going to guard us the way they have, I'm going to have to knock down shots for us. And I'm up for that challenge. I'm ready for it. Like you said, I've put in the work. So right now it's just trying to go out there and do what I need for our team.
I guess that's the interesting part to me, Aaron. Al McGuire used to say that when the game was on the line, if someone was going to the foul line, he would want his C student to be on the line because there's no thinking involved. And we all know that you're, one of the best student athletes in the country at any level. Is it hard for you to let go of that intellectual aspect of your personality when you step between the lines? I mean, it's in essence who you are. So I'd imagine there's only so much you can let that go.
It's weird. When I'm playing defense, it's really easy to kind of just let go of things. And there's a lot more feel that goes on than on the offensive end for some reason. And then sometimes, you could tell, I'm overthinking things on the offensive end, and that's what I'm not playing the greatest. So it's hit or miss, and it's on me to try to find that, that groove. And I think we found it for a couple games, not only me, but our entire team. And then obviously yesterday happened, and the next thing we need to do is just move forward. We have to try to find that groove again, find that togetherness that we had for a few games, and that's when we're at our best.
Aaron, your competitiveness and your will to win is second to none. If there's a player out there that I think can match you in those categories, I would say Marcus Smart, the point guard from Oklahoma State, is one of those. And he had an incident, unfortunate incident recently where his competitiveness and his desire to win has really overtaken his play. And of course, it boiled over when he shoved the fan. What did you think when you saw that? And if you could talk to Marcus Smart right now and maybe give him some advice, what would you say to him?
I was at home by myself, so I didn't really have anyone to talk to. I could feel his frustration, to be honest. We had gone through something just like they had. They're still going through, losing some games in a row, being on the road and being in a tight game, and just never knowing when you're going to get out of it. I could feel that, and I can understand where he was coming from. It was crazy just to see. It's one of those things that it's hard to really believe even after I've seen it a few times. And if I could just tell him anything, it's just, he's got to keep his head up. He made a mistake, and hopefully he's not defined by that, because obviously he's a great player. He's put in the work just like anybody else. And like you said, he's one of the greater competitors in college basketball right now. His team doesn't need him to feel bad or throw himself a pity party. His team needs him to be that coach on the bench, to be that positive guy in practice and in games. That's what they need him to be when he comes back, and just do what he does, because he's one of the better guards in the country, and they're lucky to have him.